this your first time with us, welcome. Welcome back to my channel. If this your first time with us, welcome. If you visited us before, welcome back. And if you have traveled with us before, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Today's video, I'm going to do this real quick, y'all, because I'm actually out and about. I'm about to get some things done. But we just came back from Costa Rica. And I want to do a quick little story time. And you know how we do on this channel. We love our story times. So this story time is about a resort. Now, if y'all new here, I am a travel agent, but I keep it real, and as real as it can get. And side note, speaking of travel agents, I did a story time on this channel about United Airlines. Now, if you've been hiding underneath a rock, because we're going to give you some tea first before we start this story time, and I'm going to show you how real my story times are, okay? Marlon Wayans also had a little tidbit tea on United Airlines. So if you haven't seen my video and you saw what was going on with Marlon Wayans, click on my video and watch what happened with United Airlines. Look at it. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I was just so floored by it. I was like, oh my goodness, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's get back to Costa Rica. Okay. This story time in Costa Rica was about the strip. Now, in Rica, it's J-A-C-O. I'm all about going where the party is. It was my 40th birthday, and we wanted to party, okay? You know, me and my husband loves to party, okay? So, I booked to stay on the strip, okay? I wanted an all-inclusive, because you know I like my all-inclusive. I like the liquor to be flowing. I'm sorry. I like the drinks to be flowing. And I like it to be, you know, I want to say fun. You know, just lighthearted fun. That's what I want. Well, usually we stay at an all-adult resort. But on the strip, I couldn't find an all-adult resort. To say that it was more like on the strip and they didn't have one, I was kind of, you know, bummed. But we did find one that had the kiddos, but that was fine. Because again, we wasn't planning on being in there. We were planning on being on the strip. Okay? So I'm looking at the reviews of the hotel and everything, and I'm getting mixed reviews. Now, I did hear that one side of the resort was, you know, remodeled, the other side was not. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be in the remodeled side. I'm not playing with y'all, okay? It's my birthday. Okay, so let's get to the story time. So when we arrived at the resort was old as I thought. It was, so when they gave me my first room, I didn't even go up to the room because on that side they didn't have elevators. You had to take the stairs to get to the second floor. And I was like, that one can't be remodeled, because if you taking stairs to get to the floor, then obviously the other side is remodeled. I'm not even going up there to look. So I didn't even go up there to look. We went on the other side where there was the elevator. You know, got them to change my room. Went up to the room. The room was okay. But it was supposed to be remodeled, but they still had, like, where the shower was, it was still a tub head in there, but no tub. But, yeah. But it was supposed to be remodeled. Supposed to have the best room in the house, you know. So I was like, okay, you know, it is what it is. We only gonna be here. We may have to do a short trip because I had to get back home because I had to take care of some business, and we're gonna take another trip next month. So I wasn't tripping. I was like, okay, it is what it is. You know, I'm gonna enjoy what it is to enjoy, and you know, and have it that way. I wasn't going to be on any type of, oh my goodness, oh no, this is wrong, da da da. I wasn't going to do that. I was just going to go with it. Now, I did complain a sad bit because the place was not what I expected. But it is what it is. So we went ahead, got checked in and everything. Now, we rented a car because the resort was an hour away from San Jose. And it's supposed to be the best beach party ever spot to go to, whatever. So, in Costa Rica. So, we rented the car, and it took about an hour and 45 minutes to get to our resort. Now, let me back up. When I Googled everything, and I called the resort, they said, oh, you're an hour out. I said, okay. But everything else I Googled was an hour and a half, almost 2 hours from the airport. So, we got our rent-a-car. And we got our rent-a-car. Wait, y'all, I got another story time in this story time. Let me back up a little bit. When we got to the car rental place, now I stayed up all night, okay? And I thought I had packed early. My husband was packed in the morning before. I went ahead and messed around and took a nap. Now, if y'all know, I take all my flights early in the morning. And I have reserved my Uber for 3:15. I was up, I had packed, but the night before, I took my purse, and I had to, move my stuff from, only thing I had to do was move my stuff from my purse to my bag, my purse that I was actually taking on vacation. Because, you have your vacation bag and you have your, your day-to-day bag. So my day-to-day bag, I took my stuff out that morning. Now, why I say that is because I had dozed off. Usually I stay up all night before my flight. I dozed off, and when I dozed off, it was about 12 o'clock. So I was like, my husband he went took him a nap. He was like, he was gonna get up at 1 o'clock and start packing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and watch TV. So I sat there and watched TV, and as he was sleeping like a nice and cozy, I dozed off. So when I dozed off, the next thing I know, he's saying, okay, it's 3 o'clock. I'm like, 3 o'clock? What? Because I wasn't dressed. I said I was going to get up, shower, do my makeup, stuff like that. I wasn't dressed or nothing. And it was 3 o'clock. So I jump up, and I run, hop in the shower, and do all that. And I couldn't put a full face on because, I had my Uber driver coming at 3:15. When my Uber driver sent me a message in the midst of me, rushing around like checking my hair cut off, to tell me that he was going to be there, and he was going to get there at 3:20. So I was like, okay. So I went ahead and I started doing my makeup and everything and doing me. And I hurried up, and by the time I finished my makeup and put on my clothes and everything, it was 3:30. He had got there. He had been there about 5 minutes. My husband was putting the stuff in the car, and they were out there pretty much talking or whatever. Because I realized that I knew the Uber driver. He knew my husband and I. So it was funny. So while they were doing all that, I was like, oh shoot, I need to switch purses. So I grabbed my wallet out my purse, and I grabbed my it was my wallet, and made sure I had passports. And I put those in my purse and ran out the door. So we get on the flight or whatever, checked in and everything, went through TSA. Never thought about, we stopped to get coffee. And when we stopped to get coffee, my husband went ahead and paid with his card. Usually we pay everything with the traveler's credit card. But he went ahead and paid with his credit card. He was like, it's nothing. I was like, well, we put everything on the travel card. And he was like, no, you gotta go ahead and pay or whatever. So not thinking nothing of it. So we get to, and another thing was, the night before also, the day before I went to get cash from the ATM so we can, switch currencies and all that stuff, okay? So I made sure I had my currency, cash, and all that. So we go and we get to the rental car place, okay? Once we get to the rental car place, I open up my wallet, and I'm looking for our traveler's credit card. I know y'all won't guess, right? Y'all, who won't say it? Yes, I left my traveler's credit card sitting in the other purse. Because I had took it out. Usually, that's the last thing I do, and I put it in my wallet before we leave. But I went ahead and I I just sat it in my purse. So when I picked up that wallet, it was still sitting in my purse. Oh my goodness. So we got there and we go to check in. I'm like, okay. So I pull out another credit card. It's not my traveling credit card. And my traveling credit card, it's already okay for me to travel without having to call and do all the hoopla. So I was like, I don't have the traveler's credit card. So I pull out my Amex. Now my Amex, when we went to Dominican before, my Amex they stole it. So not actually stole the card, but when I put it in one of those machines, it was a machine that they can actually read or something like that, and so they were still doing transactions with my card that I had put in there. So when I called, because they were running up charges, when I called, they put a block on my card. But I can still use it when I go in the States or whatever, but you do have to call when I go out of the States now to let them know that, I'm out of the States. Well, I didn't do that. So I went to use my Amex, and they said, you can't use this card. So I'm like, what? So then I pull out another one on my card. I'm like, okay, this is another brand new card of mine. I pull it out, I go to use it, and they're like, no. I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not call any of these because I thought I was going to have my traveler's credit card. My traveler's credit card is my go-to credit card. So I'm like, okay. So I pull out my other credit card, and I went to use that credit card, and they were like, no ma'am. So I'm like, what? Not beknownst to me, if I would have looked at my phone, each one of those cards had sent one of those fraud alerts, and you can say yes it's me or no it's not. But I'm just so frantic. I'm hearing my phone going beep, 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 to tell me that I'm having notifications, but I'm not trying to hear those notifications because at this point I'm freaking out because I don't have the freaking traveler's credit card. So my husband was like, well, why don't we use this one? He has the same bank. It's for the same bank. It's our traveler's credit card, but it's the debit card. And so we could use that one, but it's a debit card. And I'd rather use my credit card. But it was what it was. It worked. Because you can use it when you're out of the States easily, because I guess because it's the same bank or whatever. So we went ahead and did that. Luckily he had that one because usually he don't travel with the cards. So, nevertheless, we went ahead, got all that hoopla situated. Go to get the car, and it's a standard. I'm like, no, not doing standard. We're doing automatic. Even though we both can drive a standard, I don't do standards when it's in the hills and the mountains. Not doing it. Nope, not doing it. So, the man came out. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, because I already booked my car. I knew what I wanted. I booked it and everything. So, when they gave us the other car. So all this hoopla took about an hour, okay? So mind you, we landed about 11:30. Time we got our bags and everything and change money and all that stuff, it was about 12 something. Time we go to get the car and get on the road to driving, it's about 1:30. Bam. We go ahead, we put everything in the GPS to head to the resort. As we're driving to the resort, we encountered 5 tows to get to the resort. 5, okay? So luckily, I don't change money at the airport. I'm a firm believer is you change your money at the hotel, you get better rates, not at the airport. But something must have been with me that day, because I looked at the line and I was like, you know what? Let's just go change $50. Nothing big, nothing more. And I think because I was thinking we were going to pick up lunch on a ride, because we had an hour ride. Well, it was actually 2 hours. We had a ride to get to our resort. So we're just going to stop, get lunch, sightsee, things like that. So let's just get 50 of the local currencies. Well, we started on our ride. And as we started on our ride, we had 5 tows, and I was like, let's just get to the resort. So we finally get to the resort at about 3:30-ish, 4 o'clock. The line was super long to check in the resort. Okay, we check in the resort, but that's not the story time. Let me go back to the story time that I was telling you. So after we had checked in our resort and everything, and you know, the old school, new school, whatever, side of the resort, we decided we wanted to go out that night, right? So when we got there, we were hungry, we went and ate and everything, and we went to talk to one of the guys about places to go. And so they were like, yeah, you know, you're on the strip, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay. So that night came, and we were going to go to the strip. So we went down to the guest service. After we ate and everything, we decided, you know, it's been a long day or whatnot. Let's just go take a nap, kind of, you know, get ready for the night. And so we did. We went to dinner that night, and we was going to go out. And the guy was like, do not go on the strip. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, do not go on the strip. There's like gang things going on. If you're going to go on the strip, kind of find a spot down from the strip, because they do drive-bys and things like that. And I'm like, oh my God, like, the whole purpose of me coming here is for my birthday, to enjoy my birthday. And I was like, okay, interesting. So at this point, we getting super tired at this point anyway. We had been traveling all day. So it was like, okay, let's just go to bed. So the next night, the guy was like, I'm going to tell y'all some good places to go. So the next night was the 3rd, and my birthday was on the 4th. So it was like, okay, let's, you know, see what's going on, whatnot. So we went around. We went out. We decided, you know what, we're going to see what's going on the 3rd. So as it was going on, we saw the concierge, and they had an all-day party boat thingamajiggy. You know, when you hit the islands, it's always a party boat. I was like, okay, let's hit the party boat. Bam, it's going to be an all-day thing. Bam, you know, we're going to have some fun. They were like rum punches all day, non-stop rum punches. I'm like, yes, let's do this. We about to do this. We are ready to do this thing. The whole day, enjoying my birthday on the water. That's what I'm talking about. So, we went ahead and did it on the 4th. We had to get up super early. So, me and my husband decided not to go out on the 3rd. We decided we was going to wait and go out on the 4th. We was going to make it a whole night extravaganza. So, we get to this boat, which looked like a ferry. My husband said it was a catamaran, but it did not look like a catamaran. I had been on several catamarans. This one looked like a ferry to me. To another lady that was sitting on the boat with me as well. She was like, maybe me and you are bougie, but this is not a catamaran to me. This is more like a ferry boat. So I was like, no, catamarans have the 3 stories, have the 2 stories. And they advertised the pool at the top of the catamaran, which looked like a plunge pool. And I was like, you know, it's just, you know, it's a little plunge pool, you know, and I'm like, okay, you know, so I'm like, oh, whatever. So me and her like, okay, are we bougie or we not bougie? I don't think I'm bougie. For me, all it takes is being on the water and enjoying myself. And like me and my husband always say, as long as we're together, we're having a good time. Like, we don't care what else is going on. As long as we're together, we're cool. So I was cool about it. She kept complaining about it, so I kept feeding her ego, because I was like, yeah, it's really not. So it was what it was. They took us to a private beach, and we chilled on the beach, and we drank rum punches and enjoyed ourselves. And then me and my husband decided to take a hike. Now, we got on the